From watching the Lil Nas video to catching up on the Aretha Franklin series to the announcement of SWV versus Xscape, and of course always the talks of Chris Brown versus Usher, this week was filled with shenanigans. And so let's get into it. So I might as well start with the obvious, with the basic. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. And so I'm gonna go ahead and say it, y'all. For me, of course, I was happy that they announced the next verse is going to be Xscape versus SWV, two girl groups of the 90s, huge stars, great hits, great songs, nostalgia, all that good stuff. However, we should all know that SWV has more hits than Xscape. Not taking anything away from Xscape, of course. Like I said, we love them. They gave us some, some hits. I won't even say moderate hits. They gave us some hits, some number one hits, as a matter of fact. But when you put them against a group like SWV, and when you really, really take a look at their catalog and compare them, you can physically tell that not only has SWV had more hits, but the hits that they've had have been more impactful. Now, again, like I said, there's nothing to take away from Xscape, but I always like to say whose catalog was the most impactful. You know, who had the most cultural reset moments? Who had the most songs that, you still sing to this day? I was talking to somebody on Facebook and they commented on one of my posts and said, there's 19 rounds or so. SWV is going to have to really go up against Xscape and pull out all the guns. And I said, okay, think about it this way. What song does Xscape have that gets the same love that SWV's Weak gets? Okay, think about that. SWV's song Weak was released in 1992, and it still receives the same type of love, the same type of excitement, where people stop in their tracks and they sing. It reminds me a lot of Tevin Campbell's Can We Talk? It's just one of those songs that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, you are transported to a particular point in time with that song. It's a song for lovers. It's a song of heartbreak. It's one of those types of songs, right? And so me personally, I don't think Xscape has one of those songs that made that sort of impact. And then I think somebody lobbied with Who Can I Run To, which is a great remake. I love their Xscape's remake of that particular song, but again, I don't think it has the same impact. So I'm going to go out on the line and say that SWV has got this. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't. Let me know in the comments. But when it comes to hit for hit, song for song, we'll be able to see. They're going to battle. I believe it's sometime in April. May 8th. I'm sorry, it's in May. The first battle is going to be Isley Brothers versus the Earth, Wind, and Fire, which is Mother's Day, I believe. So. I'm sorry, Easter weekend. So, but SWV and Xscape, I'm going with Xscape. And, with those versus talks, of course, the talk came up again and again and again, as it always does, about Usher versus Chris Brown. Now, I don't want to have this conversation again. I do not want to have this conversation again, you guys. We can't continue to have this conversation about Usher versus Chris Brown because there is no conversation, okay? Usher is the better artist. Usher has more impactful songs than Chris Brown does. Just because Chris Brown has more songs and possibly more hits at this point because he's released more music does not mean the music that he has released has transformed the culture like Usher's has. It's fact. You know what I mean? The Confessions album alone went, diamond, okay, and sold over 20 million copies worldwide. And it's not just about the copies, it's not just about the sales, it's about the songs. Chris Brown is an amazing artist. He's a better dancer than Usher. He's a better performer than Usher. Even in Usher's heyday, Chris Brown is better than him. He's that guy. He has those certain things on lock. But when it comes to a versus, yeah, if we're only saying who has more hits, then it will go with Chris Brown because Chris Brown has more songs. But when you talk about who has impacted the culture more, hip hop, R&B, it has to go to Usher. There's no way around that. There's absolutely no way around that. And so I want to put those not those rumors, I want to put those talks to bed. We can't have any more talks. People are always divided, of course, because those really are the only two R&B artists male artists anyway, that can go up against each other, that are still living anyway. And so put it to bed, put it to sleep, give it some NyQuil, tuck it in, and realize that Usher is the better artist overall. Chris Brown has his departments and his points where he's better, but if we're talking about an R&B artist that will be remembered as shifting and changing and really giving something to the culture, Usher beats out Chris Brown. And that's not to say Chris Brown hasn't done that, but Chris Brown hasn't done it to the level of Usher. And so that's just the end of it. I hope that's the end of it. I hope you guys understand. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree, if you don't, give me your opinions. Of course, there's always an opinion. Everybody has one. But my personal opinion is that Usher will run circles around Chris Brown. When you start to play the songs side by side, you'll really realize that Usher is more so of the GOAT. Now, on to Genius, Aretha Franklin. I got a chance to watch it. This past weekend, I caught up on the episodes. I believe it was 8 episodes. Genius is an anthology series that takes a look at these people who have come up throughout time. Picasso was one season, and also I believe Einstein was another season. And so they announced that Aretha Franklin was going to be this 3rd season, and Cynthia Erivo, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, was going to portray her. Now, we all know Jennifer Hudson is also portraying Aretha Franklin in an upcoming biopic, which is a movie that's set to be released in August. And so the comparison started, of course, as they always will. And so I'm here to kind of tell you guys the comparisons of in my personal view. Cynthia did an amazing job. Cynthia is a good actress, she's a good singer, and she embodied Aretha Franklin in certain ways. Does she look like Aretha Franklin more than Jennifer Hudson? No. Does she have as much soul as Jennifer Hudson playing Aretha Franklin? No. Do you need that when you're playing Aretha Franklin? Absolutely. Aretha Franklin is the queen of soul, okay? So in order to play her, you have to have a certain amount of that in you in order for it to be believable. And Cynthia did not have that. She had everything else. She's a good actress. Now, do I believe she's a better actress than Jennifer Hudson? Absolutely, I do, because I haven't seen Jennifer Hudson do anything yet that has made me jump out of my chair, except for, of course, Dreamgirls. But she made me jump out of my chair because of the song that she sang. And she won that Oscar. The Oscar that Jennifer Hudson won was based on her performing that song, I'm Not Going. And I'm telling you, it wasn't based on her solely on her performance as an actor, her transforming into somebody else. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Not to say she didn't deserve it, but it wasn't based just on a performance. It was based on that song that she sang, which is great, which is amazing. So when we fast forward to this, Cynthia was doing an amazing job. I was watching it. They did flashbacks of Aretha. They used Aretha's real voice in certain things. But little small intricate things that I saw, Cynthia knocked it out the park. She got that right. But I'm almost willing to forfeit that just to see Jennifer Hudson do her version of it, because Aretha wanted her to play her in the biopic. She already made that, plain and simple before she passed away. And so it's only right that Jennifer Hudson is allowed to play it, and she's given that chance. And so I'm ready to see her do it. I think she's going to do a good job. The small parts of who Aretha Franklin was, I just really want Jennifer to knock those out of the park, and not just the singing part, and not just when she sings, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, which she already knows she's going to kill that, but will she kill the other little small things? That's important as an actress and as a performer. So, again, it was good. Genius, Aretha Franklin. You can catch it on Hulu. They're doing they're re-showing all the episodes, and so you can catch it on Hulu. You can watch all the seasons as well. So it was a good watch. It was a decent watch. I wasn't mad at it. But there was what was missing from her performance was soul, but she had everything else. And that's pretty much it on that. I encourage you guys to watch it and, of course, make your own decision. But I want to see what Jennifer Hudson's going to do. Now, what I did see who was going to do what I didn't think they were going to do was Lil Nas. Now, this was a tough one. It was a tough watch. The video, Call Me By Your Montero, Call Me By Your Name. Montero is Lil Nas's given name. And so, he released the video, and I like the song. I'll start with that. I definitely like the song, but I really, really am disturbed a little bit by the video when it comes to the references and the feeding into the Satan part. Now, him being gay and him being out and him being proud, I encourage that. He's good for the community when it comes to that. He's visible. I like Lil Nas. I like his music. I like his energy. And I like everything about him. But I just didn't really like how he leaned so far into the side of portraying this, whatever that was in a particular video. I know artists are supposed to reinvent themselves. I know it's all about creativity and expressing yourself. But this was so blatant as far as like, and I don't even get into the Illuminati talk, but like the devil play, the sliding down the pole to hell, twerking on the devil, the devil actually interacting and receiving a lap dance from Lil Nas. I just really thought it was heavy on the unnecessary. It just leaned really, really, really far into something that I thought was just too much. I know, like I said, you're supposed to reinvent yourself, but then I start to think, where do you go after that? Where does he go after this? It was just really, really heavy for me. And then also learning that he's coming out with a shoe that it's a devil shoe or a Satan shoe. It's red and black, and it has a real drop of someone's blood in the shoe. It's marketing at its best, but it's just also, how far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go? And this seems like the end of the road. It almost seems like you should be like, slowly getting there to where he is now, but he just hit it. He punched on the gas and he went all the way to the left with it. And so I don't like the video. I like parts of the video, but that part of the video was just a little bit too much for me. Also, he's being marketed to younger kids, and it's just a little too much. Just a little too much for me, and I like it all, and I welcome everybody to express themselves. But this was just a little too much for me. What was the point of that part of it, the satanic part, the Satan? I would love for him to kind of break down what he was thinking, how it all came about. Because right now, he's going #1 on iTunes, and he's doing all these things that people are recognizing the video, and it's controversy, you know what I mean? And so people respond to that. But I would really like for him to break down his pattern of thought, his train of thought, how this all came about, what it really means. Because if it does mean something that nobody's getting or that I'm not getting, I would like to break it down. So what do you guys think? Have you seen the video? What do you feel about it? Are you with it? Are you not? Does it change your perspective about him? I know a lot of people, a lot of celebrities are like, I'm not letting my kids watch his videos anymore. He upset a lot of people, but he also inspired a lot of people too. So which side of the coin do you fall on? Let me know. Make sure you guys follow me as well. I'm on Instagram and Entertainment Takeover _. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can always know when I submit or when I drop a new video. I'll be doing more and more and more. Let's talk about all the things we talked about. SWV and Xscape, Chris Brown and Usher, Genius Aretha, and of course a Lil Nas video. Let's discuss it down in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.